Affirmations. Introduction. What difference can words make? A lot, especially if those words are used as positive affirmations. Yes, affirmations. If you haven't used affirmations or used them unsuccessfully in the past, you might be wondering how some positive sentences repeated aloud can make any difference. To most, affirmations sound like nothing more than wishful thinking and good intentions. But can they really work? The answer here is yes. Numerous studies done by scholarly journals, schools of psychology, and other respected members of the scientific community have proved that affirmations work. They also encourage substantial and positive change in the lives of people who practice them regularly. In this book, we're going to step into the world of affirmations. We'll talk first a little about what affirmations are and how we can expect them to help us. From there, we'll discover how to use affirmations through the creation of personalized affirmations. Finally, we'll explore several areas of your life where affirmations can be most helpful, and with several tips to optimize each of these areas and some examples to get you started. Welcome to the world of affirmations. Just by being here, your life is about to change, all through the implementation of the right word at the right time. Affirmations. What are affirmations? An affirmation is a straightforward statement which, when repeated frequently, profoundly affects both your conscious thinking processes and, more importantly, the subconscious. We sometimes make these statements intentionally, or more often than not, without thinking about them. The key to affirmations lies in the repetition. After all, anything you repeat is going to be memorized over time, even subconsciously. Affirmations can be powerful and profoundly affect you by wiring your brain to accept what's repeated as truth. It's important to realize that an affirmation can either be positive or negative. They have the power to do great good or a great deal of damage, depending on how you use them. Either way, they do some serious work to either mess you up entirely or change your life in positive and healthy ways. How does any affirmation affect us? Behavior. Affirmations are at the root of everything we do. If we tell ourselves we're fat, we might go on a diet. If we tell ourselves we're a failure, we might quit trying too early when confronted with a challenge. In extreme cases, seriously negative affirmations might result in self-harm or suicide. In contrast, the best affirmations take us to new heights of success and achievement. Thought patterns. Are you a glass half empty or glass half full kind of person? Affirmations are what guide you to either be positive or negative in your outlook. For example, if you're always putting yourself down, you're likely only going to notice how things go wrong in your life. Habits. Affirmations also impact the small actions we carry out throughout the day. Creating a habit takes intentional action repeated over time. Our affirmations, spoken or thought repeatedly, then build habits whether we want them to or not. In the best case scenario, we leverage positive affirmations to create healthy and good habits. But unintended negative affirmations can help you build up some pretty bad habits over time. Environment. We tend to surround ourselves with things that reflect our subconscious mind. If we're full of negativity, we might be more likely to seek out poor company or go places and do things that are not to our benefit. In contrast, positive affirmations help us to seek out the company of mentors and the kinds of friends that build us up and seek an environment filled with positivity, light, and learning. All of this combined means a few words have a lot more impact than you might think, especially if you speak those words carefully. This is also why it's incredibly important to engage in positive affirmations wrought with intentionality at every opportunity. With this in mind, for the remainder of this book, when we talk about affirmations, we're going to assume that the statements made are positive with the intent to create healthy and intentional change. Negative affirmations are things to be avoided, having no place in a world where you're working to better yourself, not bring yourself down. As the name implies, affirmation should be affirming, meaning giving support or encouragement. In the next section, we'll examine all the ways these positive affirmations can go to work for us. How do affirmations help us? The good news is, affirmations that are well-directed can do us a lot of good in every aspect of our lives. In general, they have several benefits. Motivation. Nothing spurs action better than the thought that you're going to succeed at what you're going to do. After all, if the outcome is assured, why wouldn't you get moving to make it happen? Goal orientation. Affirmations direct our thoughts in a particular direction. When combined with a goal, affirmations are what make things happen. By repeating the goal frequently in your mind through affirmations, you never lose sight of where you're going and why you're going there. Habits. Affirmations can create positive habits leading to good health, a more organized life, and an approach to work that gets things done. Subconscious. One of the fascinating aspects of affirmations is how they work even when you think they're not. For example, after repeating to yourself how much you love your body and how amazing it is when it's working well, you're going to find yourself not quite feeling so drawn into those bad habits, which might impact your health negatively. It becomes easier to turn down dessert or take the stairs as opposed to the elevator. You might not realize why you're making either choice until you start examining your thoughts. Then you'll notice that the affirmations had worked so deeply into your subconscious that you're making the healthier choices. Socialization. The funny thing about affirmations is that they start to affect your outlook. When you're constantly feeding yourself a stream of positivity, you're going to find you're more positive in approaching life. This alone is a benefit, but it leads to another one you might not think about otherwise. As you become more positive, the people around you can't help but notice. They're going to be drawn to your sphere of influence, wanting to be near you solely because you have such an upbeat outlook on things. A positive outlook leads to friendship, new relationships, and even could put you in line for a mentor. Positivity. Your positive outlook is going to push you toward new opportunities in all walks of life. When you feel good about who you are, and about how you're growing and changing for the better, you naturally seek out more educational opportunities and are positioned better for whatever transformation awaits. Here's where you renovate your interior self, and even your exterior gets a facelift. After all, when you're happier and more confident, this positive outlook affects how you stand, how you walk, and how you conduct yourself physically. Positivity shows through in every aspect of your life and health. Health. Speaking of your physical health, did you know that affirmations have some pretty interesting effects inside your body? Studies using MRI technology found how repeating affirmations acts in much the same way praise does in your body. Anytime someone compliments you on a job well done, you experience a surge of dopamine in the brain. Dopamine is the reason which makes you feel so pleased when you receive compliments. Now imagine the same effect coming from an affirmation. But the benefit doesn't stop there. Using affirmations regularly starts cueing your brain to notice the good things in life. This leads to emotional regulation, reduction of stress and anxiety, and can even affect the health of your heart and other systems in the body negatively impacted by stress. Whew, that's a lot. It's essential to make your affirmations intentional. If positive affirmations can do all this good, imagine what negative ones can do. With this in mind, we need to put our affirmations to work for us, to help keep things under control. Using affirmations. Remember, using affirmations needs to be intentional for the best results. The first thing you do is form a set of affirmations that reflect your current life situation and give you the most benefit. At the same time, affirmations without action are nothing more than dead words on a piece of paper. You need to bring your affirmations to life in the active daily practice of using them regularly. Creating affirmations. Let's start by making your affirmations. Keep in mind, the more thought you put into the process now, the more success you'll have later. Don't rush through this process, but give yourself time to think through things, especially if you find the goals you're setting for affirmations involve having to work through past trauma. Set the goal. Without a direction, you're never going to go anywhere. You need to understand what you're hoping to get out of your affirmations. Are you looking to build habits? Invite something or someone into your life to stop destructive behavior, or do something else entirely? Take a few minutes to think about your goal. Think about what you're hoping will happen in your life. Remember, as with any goal setting, you're going to want to set SMART goals. Specific. What do you want your affirmation to do precisely? Measurable. How will you be able to measure the success of your affirmation? Actionable. Is this something you can work on or act on once you see it? Relevant. Is this something that benefits your life directly? Time-bound. Is there a deadline of some sort so you know how to plan? Create your list. List out all the thoughts you have about this goal. For example, if you're thinking about using affirmations to help in your work life, list all the statements you find yourself making regarding work. everything from I hate my job to I feel like I don't matter at work. Go deep on these because this is where you're going to dive into the affirmation's heart and soul. Include things other people have said to you which have stuck in your head. It doesn't matter if any of these things are true. The point here is to focus on the chatter inside your head. Once you have this list, try to figure out what the common theme is. For example, you might find everything comes back to feeling invisible and unimportant in your work, which is why you hate your job. Rewrite the script. Here's where you take what you've discovered and turn it around. How would you word the exact opposite of this statement? Instead of saying, I am invisible at work, you might want to try, I contribute greatly at work and my boss appreciates me. Verbalize your affirmation. An affirmation is nothing more than a wish until you put it into practice. You start by saying the words out loud. The important thing here is not to rush through what you're saying. Think about the words as you speak them. Concentrate on how they make you feel. Above all, believe what you say. If you don't believe it, you can't expect this to bring you success. Make it physical. As you speak your affirmation, you're going to want to layer in an emotion strong enough to evoke a visceral response. Why? Because the lie you've been telling yourself already has just such a response. Try this. Go back to your original statement. Our example involved feeling invisible. Whatever yours was, go back and repeat it, paying attention to where you feel it when you say it. Do you feel a pinch in your chest? A heaviness to your shoulders? A twist in your gut? Whatever you're feeling, you need to remember the emotion. When you say your positive affirmation out loud, you need to put your hand wherever you feel the pain from the negative affirmation and place it there. Focus on the warmth and comfort of your hand as you say the new positive words. Layer in pride, joy, acceptance, or whatever other emotion feels appropriate. Initially, this step might seem difficult. It's hard to force yourself to feel something you're not in the mood to feel. But believe it or not, this really can work. Studies have shown that people who were asked to feel happy when they didn't feel satisfied were able to fake the happy feelings only a short time before they started feeling genuinely more joyful. The emotion will come with practice. Remember how you felt the last time you were proud or happy or whatever emotion you're trying to pull up? Try to recreate this feeling when you say the affirmation. Get some help. Take your affirmation and bring it to someone else whom you trust deeply. Ask them to read it out loud to you. This step might not be easy. It's hard to ask someone to read something to you, which might make you feel vulnerable. But you're going to find out why this is important when you experience the surge of emotion from hearing those words from someone else's lips. Repeat. Here's your most important step of all. Affirmations are not one-time things. They only work when repeated over and over, as often as possible. We're going to look at this more as we explore the routine you're about to set up. Making affirmations routine. As mentioned above, making your affirmations routine is an essential part of this process. You go about doing this in several ways. Create daily practice times. As you need to do affirmations every single day, you're going to want to choose several times where this works easiest. Some people benefit from looking themselves in the mirror as they do their affirmations. If this is the case, why not make them part of your morning and evening routine when you're already in the bathroom? Put affirmations on your schedule. It's so easy to ignore something when you don't prioritize it in your schedule. To keep from growing lax and eventually getting so sporadic to where you're not feeling any benefit from your affirmations, write your affirmation time on your daily calendar. Once you're set up, be sure to keep those dates with yourself. Create reminders. You need to keep the affirmation close throughout the day. Try putting notices on your phone so it beeps at you once in a while to remind you it's time for affirmations. Or you might choose to write them on Post-it notes and stick them all over your world. Do whatever works best for you to keep them in mind. Once a week, revisit your affirmations. Regularly, you're going to want to examine the affirmations you've been using. Over time, you're going to start to grow and change. Your affirmations are going to need to grow and change with you. Reevaluate whether your affirmations still fit your needs. If not, repeat the first steps to see where to go from there. In the next sections, you're going to learn how to use affirmations to focus on particular areas of your life. Each segment will give a few added tips to think about, along with some examples of suggested meditations. Though, of course, You'll want to use those as a jumping off point to create affirmations that speak to you and your situation directly. We'll start with money and finance. Money and finance. The U.S. Financial Health Report in 2019 found that 54% of people were struggling with at least a portion of their lives when it came to finances. Another 17% of people were experiencing significant financial hardship. In 2020, these numbers are expected to be considerably higher. It's no wonder when people think about using affirmations to change some aspect of their life, finances come right at the top of the list. As with any affirmations, you need the statements to be something personal. If they don't speak to you on a genuine and emotional level, they're never going to work. Where money is concerned, you have to understand why you want to change your financial state in the first place. More importantly, you need a reason for needing money, which is meaningful to you personally. So you can't just sit around wishing for $1 million because you think having that many zeros on your bank statement will fix everything. Instead, you're going to want to craft affirmations with a reason behind them. I will have $1 million seems pretty meaningless at first glance. I will have $1 million in the bank to pay my retirement costs gives you an affirmation you can believe in. Does this mean your reasons for needing money have to be good? Not at all. This isn't a discussion about morality. Sometimes we want money for the basic necessities of life. Oftentimes, we just want just enough to afford a fabulous vacation or throw the party of the century. Who's to say that's not a legitimate use of funds? The key here is you need to believe your reason for wanting money is valid, and it's a goal you can connect to emotionally. Success follows from there and only from there, though it's not the whole story. Remember, using financial affirmations isn't the same as buying a lottery ticket and thinking you're going to win. You're still going to need to dig in and do some work. Money tends to be an outgrowth of opportunity. Frequently, what the universe gives, it gives in the form of opportunity. At the same time, this kind of opportunity always has a reward attached. So keep your eyes open. Your answer might not look quite the way you think it will. Instead of a windfall of cash, you might be given something entirely different, which will lead to precisely what you need. Samples of affirmations related to money and finance. I'm grateful for the way money comes easily to me. Money comes when I call it, making me feel powerful. I'm proud to be such a good manager of money. I feel contentment with the money that flows into my bank account. I'm confident I'll always have enough money to meet my needs. I love money and money loves me. I have a positive relationship with money. I can afford that, but I choose to save my money. I can afford that, but I choose to spend my money in other ways. Love and relationships. Next to money, the thing people would change most in their lives is relationships. Let's face it, all the money in the world can't begin to buy the kind of happiness which comes from being with someone you love, who loves you in return. So how can affirmations help? Affirmations can help open the doorway to a brand new relationship. Affirmations can help forge trust in the relationship. Affirmations can help restore a relationship shattered and struggling through various issues. Affirmations can help build a relationship into something strong enough to stand the test of time. The very nature of this topic means any affirmation is already going to be personal, but you can't expect relationship success by yourself. Of course, if your affirmations are focusing on finding a special someone to share a relationship, you're going to be working alone. In every other aspect, though, your best results will come from working with your partner to create and use affirmations. When working with someone else, use these steps to get started. Together, create your relationship goals. Work on this first because you're going to have to take a tough and critical look at the negative messages you've been experiencing in your relationship. These messages are almost always internal. They come from unmet expectations and old beliefs that we bring to a relationship and not from your partner. By setting your goals first, you're establishing that whatever follows, you're still in this together. Once you've started identifying the harsh realities of what's been going on, you're going to need to work together to counter those negative statements with positive ones. For example, "we don't spend time together" translates to "we make time for each other" instead. Lastly, you need to set time to work on these affirmations. Doing this together will again have the best results, especially as you say each affirmation out loud. Hearing these words from your partner as you speak the same back to them unifies and reminds you both that this isn't a solo path. What to do if your partner isn't interested in working on affirmations with you, or you have no partner to work with? In such cases, you create your goals alone, much as you would for any other kind of affirmation, focusing primarily on your role in the relationship. After all, it's not up to you to change other people, only yourself. Examples of affirmations related to love and relationships. I feel secure in a loving relationship. I'm comfortable talking to my partner about my feelings. I have a deep respect for my significant other. I feel loved and cared for. I feel a great deal of respect and adoration for my partner. If someone pushes my buttons, they are still my buttons, personal issues I need to tend to. I create the foundation on which my relationship is built. I am either destroying or building in every moment. Through intention, I achieve my ideal relationship. I cannot change anyone else. I can only change myself. Health. Affirmations relating to health tend to focus on the law of attraction. If you remember, these affirmations focus on drawing you to what you want or need. Good health is an essential part of our lives. You can use affirmations as a way of overcoming suffering and to attract good health. A couple of things to keep in mind. We gained many of our attitudes towards health through the input of other people throughout our lives. Things like poor body image, fat shaming, and other such messages are at first glance things we tell ourselves. But with a little digging, it's common to find it was another voice that said these things to you first. You might have to spend some time digging out some of these attitudes, moving in small steps to work past some buried trauma and triggers. Second, affirmations here cannot be entirely about attracting good health with no effort on your part. For best results, you'll want to combine those affirmations with ones used to build other healthy habits. Eating right, exercise, getting adequate sleep are all things you're going to want to affirm in your life as you set out on a path designed to bring you into good health. Examples of affirmations related to your good health. I am in love with my body. I appreciate my body and good health. I'm grateful to be healthy. I'm proud to reject toxicity. I deserve to be healthy and happy. I love every cell of my body. I honor my body by trusting the signals that it sends me. I manifest perfect health by making smart choices. I balance my life between work, rest, and play. They all get equal time. Every part of my body manages its tasks easily and naturally. Happiness. What is life but the pursuit of happiness? At the same time, how difficult happiness can be to attain. But there's a lot wrapped up in this single emotion. After all, happiness isn't a place you're trying to reach. Joy is instead part of your daily journey through life and is going to have to be addressed every day. On the other hand, creating the habit of happiness can go a long way toward maintaining a healthy attitude, once you've reached a point where you feel content with your life and direction. Does this make happiness something you're trying to attract to yourself, or is it entirely different? The tricky thing about happiness is how it's born of so many other things. We find it in contentment when we're experiencing the satisfaction in our jobs or relationships. We recognize it when our health is good or when we have enough for our needs. Happiness seems to be a culmination of so many other aspects of our lives. You might want to ask yourself first why you're not happy and see if other affirmations might be a better fit for what you're seeking. If it turns out in this examination happiness is the real goal, with depression, worry, and anxiety at the root of this need, then you're in the right place. Remember, these are difficult areas to work through. When you sit down to work out why you're feeling these things, you might expect some trigger points, much like you might have experienced working with your health affirmations. If you've experienced trauma in your life, this is even more so. The most important thing you can remember in these situations is to move slowly, taking small steps. Happiness won't come overnight, but slow and steady steps will bring you there. No matter what, hang in there and don't give up. Happiness is there, waiting for you again. Examples of affirmations related to happiness. I have the happiness I crave. I see the good in my life. Today I'm feeling happier and happier. I allow myself to be happy and deserve happiness. I am grateful for the joy that comes into my life. Every new day starts with happiness, is full of joy, and ends with contentment. Happiness is contagious. I spread happiness to others and absorb happiness from others. Happiness is my birthright. I choose to be happy and I deserve to be happy. Self-esteem. How you feel about yourself can be the root of many deep-seated angst. The problem with low self-esteem is that it affects every aspect of your life. It has a direct effect on relationships, making a big difference in how others see us, especially as a first impression. When using affirmations to create more positive self-esteem, you're going to need to address a lot of issues dealing with confidence, personal history, and how you see the world. The hard part about self-esteem is we don't always have a clear view of ourselves as others might. It might be a good idea to enlist the help of a trusted friend who isn't afraid to tell it like it is. Ask them about the areas you're too hard on yourself as you make your affirmations. Examples of affirmations related to self-esteem. I'm happy with the fun and rewarding life I have. I feel positive and optimistic. Life works out for the best. I'm grateful for the fantastic opportunities that my life has. I feel powerful because I can create my life the way I want it. I am proud of who I am becoming. Career. Are you truly fulfilled in your job? Here's an area where it's easy to confuse being safe with being fulfilled. A steady paycheck certainly brings a lot of benefits. Do you wake up dreading going to work in the morning? Do you come home feeling flat and drained at the end of the day? It might be time to consider using affirmations to bring you more satisfaction. How can affirmations help other than helping you to find a new job? There are many benefits to using affirmations for your career. Think about these things. Affirmations can help you learn the skills you need to be better at your job. Affirmations can improve your ability to concentrate on what you're doing. Affirmations can help you get along better with your coworkers. Affirmations can help reduce job stress. Affirmations can help you to be more content where you are. Affirmations can help you to find new opportunities to move on to greater responsibility. Affirmations can help you to feel happier in your work and more satisfied with where you are. Examples of affirmations related to career. I'm confident because of my exceptional talents and abilities. Doing my job brings me joy and happiness. I am good at what I do. I'm proud of myself. I am passionate about my career. There are no limits to my skills and abilities. I mold my career to my goals. Today and every day, I use my talents in satisfying ways. My career is what I make of it, and today I make it a happy and successful experience. I climb the corporate ladder with integrity and confidence. Family. There are two distinct areas where using affirmations can significantly benefit your family. The first centers on your parenting skills. The second focuses on your children. As a parent, it's not unusual to feel like you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you weren't always parented in the best or even the healthiest ways yourself, so you haven't had a good parenting model. Affirmations can help you get back on track with your family's care, helping you work through whatever doubts and insecurities you might have. Parenting comes up here very strongly. It's hard to raise children, especially when our goal for them, to be safe and happy, sometimes seems very opposed to the reality of the situation. Add to this, children are suffering from their own baggage with all the trials of growing up. They have to deal with a lot of hard stuff when it comes to learning, bullies, and even living in today's world. How are you supposed to make them happy when you're already overwhelmed yourself? You start with your affirmations to strengthen your parenting style, and at the same time, you start teaching them how to use affirmations for themselves. After all, you can't make anyone else happy other than yourself, but you can easily give someone else all the tools they need so they can discover happiness for themselves. Examples of affirmations related to family. I'm proud to validate my child's feelings. I act with respect and love toward my child. I have a reserve of patience, even when I feel like I'm losing control. I make my family feel safe, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of my excellent communication skills. Examples of affirmations you can teach your child. I am safe. I am loved. I am learning new things today. I am happy today. Being part of my family makes me proud. Spiritual. Nothing seems more natural than using affirmations to connect to something bigger and vaster than yourself. Only this time, you're not asking for something to come to you, you're going there, into the divine. Affirmations can be a place where you meet God or nature, a place where you worship with a spirit primed for reflective thoughts and reaching out to a hand already reaching for yours. Affirmations of a spiritual nature involve a personal analysis of what you believe and how important these beliefs are. As with other affirmations, you need to understand your goals in connecting to the spiritual. Then comes the careful analysis of your negative beliefs about your spiritual life. Here, though, your focus in the affirmation takes on a component similar to those used in relationships. only the one you're in a relationship with happens to be eternal and maybe not as vocal in repeating the affirmations back to you. On the other hand, this is a relationship, or should be, so your affirmations need to be inclusive of those beliefs. Examples of affirmations related to the spiritual. I can be content knowing I am where God wants me to be. I welcome the wonderful creation I am, even when I feel like a mess. I'm grateful for the guidance I get from the Spirit. Today I am centered in the universe and draw goodness from it. I trust that God knows what I need and when. Stress relief. Everyone has stress, some people more than most. In today's world, this isn't unusual in the least. The key is in knowing how to handle it. Stress is responsible for more sickness and disease than you probably realize. Did you know that just being under constant pressure changes the platelets' constitution in your blood, making it more likely to clot and cause heart attacks? At the same time, the reduction of stress resets your blood to normal, which tells you why it's essential to regularly address this kind of intense emotion. Affirmations can be a significant part of stress relief. Anytime we can focus on something positive, we reduce those feelings of being overwhelmed and out of control. Affirmations are all about changing your worldview to one of calm. Affirmations pointed directly at particular stresses will provide targeted relief. With these affirmations, focus on creating a comfortable world of peace and light where all is well. Affirmation practice is a calming place, so keep your manifestations to things that'll make you calm. Here too is where you need to show your individuality. Everyone's different. To some, just the idea of something nice coming their way is enough to relax the mind and body. Others might need to work a little harder at letting go of the worry of the day. The main thing here is not to compare yourself to what someone else is doing. You do what makes you comfortable and take as long as you need to achieve your goals. Don't increase your stress trying to achieve stress relief. After all, as you see in these last few affirmation ideas, you're the one who's in control as you create your new calming world. Examples of affirmations related to stress relief. When my life seems to fall apart, I can use what I already have to create a new one in its place. Wonderful things come to me from the strangest places. I welcome change in my life. Something good happens to me every day. I will come out of the stress stronger and better than I ever was. Being calm and centered is one of the top priorities in my life. I am calm and relaxed in all situations. Calmness washes over me with every deep breath I take. I'm releasing all negative emotions from my system. I give myself a credit every time I do something that makes me happy. I am grateful for all the good in my life. Conclusion. When we use affirmations, we open all kinds of doors to the future. Imagine if everything you told yourself was upbeat, positive, and genuine. Think about what kind of person you'd be. How different would you be if the negative self-talk was never there, or you had received only positive affirmations? With affirmations, the future can be yours. The key is to be wise in choosing your affirmations, then back them up by being consistent as you set about using them. In no time at all, you're going to start seeing some incredible differences in your life. As you begin to seize the opportunities affirmations bring you, you're going to experience success on a whole new level, personally, professionally, in yourself, and your relationship with others. Many of us are pre-programmed to negative results. We constantly tell ourselves why we can't succeed, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not good enough. These messages run through your head on a subconscious level, and even though we may not think about them, they're there. Affirmations are about replacing those messages with ones that empower or heal. Ultimately, getting those on a subconscious level too. How? The same way you created the negative ones. Repetition. A handful of words, well chosen, are very powerful indeed.